Hey folks, welcome back to Wild West Barbecue. Today's Father's Day and I'm going to be smoking up some babyback ribs. I got these ribs from the Uppercut, a local meat market here in Kansas City. If you're in the area, please check them out. They have some high quality meat products. So, as I said, I'm going to be smoking ribs. I'm going to use my 22.5-inch Weber Smoky Mountain, and I'm going to use cherry wood. It's my favorite kind of wood. It gives a nice mild sweetness to the ribs and I really enjoy it. This is going to be a replication of a cook I did a few weeks back and didn't video. I did do a previous video on babyback ribs, and in that video I severely overcooked my ribs. In that video I done a 3-2-1 method where I put the ribs on the smoker for 3 hours, wrapped them in foil for 2 hours, and then put them back on the smoker with some sauce for about an hour, and they came out just absolute mush, way overcooked. And so today we're going to do a 2-1-1 method. I'll have them on the smoker for 2 hours, and I'll put them in foil with some brown sugar and squeezed butter for an hour, and then I'll pull them out and put them back on the smoker with some sauce for about an hour. I did this before. This is the cook I'm going to replicate, and this worked out really well. This is something I've been looking forward to doing all week. It's something I've been planning on all week, and I think it's going to come out really well. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys inside, and I'll show you how we're going to get these ribs prepped to go. Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do, of course, is get the ribs out of the package they come in. That's just super simple. You cut it and open it up. Now, the package probably has some purge in it. I just take the entire thing and throw it away. I don't put it in the sink or anything like that. It's got a lot of pathogens in it. So let's go ahead and pat the meat down a little bit dried off. Get rid of some of that liquid from the container. The next thing you want to do is remove the membrane here on the back of the rib. It doesn't make for good eating. It's just tough, and it's fairly simple to remove. So you just take I like to use a butter knife. Any blunt instrument would do. Get it up underneath here and start peeling it off. That done, I've got 2 more racks of ribs to go ahead and get prepped this way. I'll go ahead and get those done and then bring you guys on back to show you how we're going to season this up. So I've got the membrane pulled off all 3 racks of ribs. We're ready to start seasoning these up. I'm using, like I said, Code 3 Spices Rescue Rub. It's billed as an all-purpose rub, and last time I used it on our ribs, it came out really great. So we're just going to go ahead and start putting it here on the back side first. I'm going fat side up with these ribs, so I like to season the back side first and then only flip it over once if I'm going fat side up. Of course, I do the opposite for fat side down on things like brisket if I'm going fat side down. Go ahead and get this all over. And with that, this rack of ribs is pretty much ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and get the other 2 racks rubbed up and put them back in the fridge until ready to go. I'll bring you guys back once we have the smoker started and we're actually getting ready to put these on the smoker. Okay, we're 2 hours in. It's time to wrap the ribs. I'm going to go ahead and get some foil rolled out here. I'm going to put down a simple bed of brown sugar for the ribs. Top with some squeezed butter is just parquet, simple stuff. Which point we'll go ahead and put our rib on here. And we'll go ahead and top it with brown sugar and more parquet and wrap it back up. Enough. Oh, of course. Just go ahead and wrap this thing up neat. I'll probably go ahead and double wrap each rack. But that is all we got to do to get these things wrapped. And they are, once they get the other 2 racks done, we're good to go back in the smoker. Okay, it's been another hour. I've got 1 rib rack already pulled out of the foil. As you can see, there's lots of liquid left in here. You can either reuse this or pitch it, whatever you guys want to do. I tend to not reuse it and just get rid of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just move this over towards the sink to get some room to work with here. And I'm going to go ahead and sauce the top of my ribs here and then throw them back on the smoker for about an hour or so until they're nice and tender and the sauce has had time to set. Just go ahead and sauce everything up and throw it back on the smoker for another hour or so, depending on how long it takes them to get tender. It should be about another hour, but we'll find out. With that done, I'll go ahead and get the other 2 prepped and ready to go, and then it's back on the smoker. Okay, so dinner's done. I didn't get any footage of cutting the ribs up or anything like that because we had family over. I just didn't want to mess with it when we had people over at the house. But the ribs came out great. They were nice and meaty. I've got one that's already cut up here. It's got an okay smoke ring. I could have done a little better, but it was nice and juicy. And overall, I couldn't have been happier with the end result. I did manage to replicate the last cook that I did really well with on these. And overall, the results were great. And I couldn't be happy with it. They came out really, really well. I really recommend the ribs from the uppercut. They were a lot meatier than the ones I got from Hy-Vee last time. Overall, it was just a good cook and something I really recommend doing.